Right then, this is just going to briefly, well not briefly actually, it's just going to cover the exam structure for Unit 2 for GCSE History Edexcel for the Russia paper. And this is actually a presentation taken from Google Drive. If you struggle to find it, this is just going to cover everything that you needed to know. Okay, so question A, you're going to be given a source and you need to look at what the source tells you. And this would be in the form of 2 point evidence explain paragraphs, and the point must be different to the evidence. So if you're saying one thing I learned from the source was that the Tsar was an autocrat, the evidence to support this is the Tsar was an autocrat. You've not really got the hang of it. You need to reword it to one thing I learned from the source was that the Tsar wanted to rule by himself. The evidence to support this is the Tsar was an autocrat. And the evidence supports this point because, well, in an autocratic state you rule by yourself with no outside help. You want to be doing two of those sort of points. And here's some evidence for you there. One key feature was autocracy. Oh no, sorry, we're moving on to B now. Okay, what do you need for question B? You need to write 2 point evidence paragraphs, so there's no explanation for this. And your evidence should cover about 3 to 4 sentences worth of stats. And your example here is one key feature was an autocracy, and then you've got all your stats here about Tsar Nicholas II believed that he alone should rule Russia, and that he did not want to share power with a parliament. In this case, his parliament was the Duma, or the Duma, depends how you pronounce it. But he used the Russian Orthodox Church, which is 70%. Again, bringing your stats in there. Okay, make sure you get loads of those. Of the people of Russia were members of the Orthodox Church, and the Orthodox Church told the people that this was right and that the Tsar was chosen by God. Okay, question C. They're your effects paragraph now. Okay, you want again 2 point evidence explain paragraphs, and you want to sum it up with a linking paragraph. So in your point sentence, you must link the to a future effect. So this linking paragraph will be something to a future effect. This might be like Lenin's war communism for 1 point evidence explain, and then the Kronstadt mutiny point evidence explain. These both link to Lenin's new economic policy. Here's an example here. Okay, one effect of NEP, the new economic policy, was agricultural production went up. This made the Bolsheviks more popular. Okay, that's your linking to a future event. The Bolsheviks get more popular, and there's all your evidence with your stats and then your explanation. Another effect of NEP was industrial production went up. So not only agricultural production, but into industrial as well. And this made the Bolsheviks more popular. There's your link to the future event. The Bolsheviks become more popular. Your evidence to explain. And then you just sum it up with a link. These factors link together to make the Bolsheviks more popular because the people now had a lot more food to eat and more goods to buy. This meant all key areas of their lives had improved. D question. Okay, this is your causation. Again, you want 2 point evidence explains, and this isn't really a linking to a future event sum up. Here you've got a paragraph that sums up which is the most important reason. So point, for example, you've got one reason why the Bolshevik Revolution was successful was because the provisional government, or PG, was not popular and made bad decisions. And then you want to bring in your evidence to explain. Another point, another reason why the Bolshevik Revolution was successful was because blah blah blah. Your evidence, you explain, and then in this linking paragraph you want to be saying the most important reason was, and then just an explanation. You don't need any evidence in this. Right, moving on to question 2 now, away from question 1. It's worth 8 marks. It's your how question. So again, this is has a linking paragraph, but in that linking paragraph you want to be saying how those 2 points that you're talking about in your point evidence explain paragraphs link to that future event. So for example, if you just want to pause here and just note all this down because I'm moving on quite quick for you here, but an example might be one reason how life change was, and then one way how Stalin dealt with minorities was your evidence, your explain, your point, evidence, explain again, and then you link these factors both link together because, okay, you see what, you're getting the hang of it now hopefully. And then question 3, your scaffolding one, this is the big 16 marker one. It would be logical, very ideal to get this one finished and prioritise this question. So if you're running low on time on say one of these questions, move on, because it's really important that you finish this one. Okay, in your introduction to this, it's a simple point and evidence, but you need to say the topics you'll discuss and you have to answer the question. Okay, this isn't like English exams where you sum up everything in the conclusion. Okay, you have to answer the question at the start, because this ensures that in hopefully the unlikely event that you don't finish the question, you have actually answered it, so you will get marked. If you don't answer the question, you're not in for a very good chance of high marks, as the only real thing that you've got to give you marks are the way that you've gone through the main body. Speaking of which, in the main body you need 3 point, evidence, explain and linking paragraphs. Okay, these need to be about 3 topics, one of which must be in the question, and then your conclusion of an overall judgment, another point, evidence, explain paragraph. For example, we've got an example, yes we do. You give your introduction where you answer the question. In your first paragraph you will cover like the most important reason was, your evidence you explain, and then you're linking it to this was more important than the other one because. Second important reason was, point, evidence, explain, this is more important than the other one because. Paragraph 3, the third most important was, evidence, explain, link, okay, you must link, okay, the least important, or this was the least important reason because, and in your conclusion you want to just sum up about all 3 factors were important, because at the end of the day every historic event has some form of contribution, so all one of these are important, but it appears from the layout here that paragraph 2, reasoning, is the most important. An example of this might be, say, why the Tsar gets overthrown. One of those most important reasons I certainly feel is the February revolutions, and I believe that's it. Yes it is. Okay, now that was pretty quick, and if you want to be able to go back into more detail, then just go onto your Insight. If you click here on My Drive, then it will take you into your Google Drive account. Click on Shared with Me over here in the corner, and you'll get all of the stuff that has been shared with you. I've got quite a bit shared with me here, but if you then find where Mr. Clayton has shared with you Unit 2 stuff, so you've got past exam papers, that's pretty helpful for Unit 2. Unit 2 is all Russia, and you've got Unit 2 here, past papers and student resources. This is the one that you want. Click on that, it'll open it up. Click on Unit 2 again. Once you're in there, click Revision to Russia. And once you're in there, click on this yellow box. This yellow box is a PowerPoint. Okay, once you've done that, click on that, and it will load, hopefully. Come on, here we go. And you'll have that PowerPoint all ready eventually, if it's not too slow like this one. There you go. Right, okay, so you've got them all here. This is exactly the PowerPoint that I've just used there, that has been shared by, I believe made also by Mr. Clayton. It's very, very useful indeed. Okay, that should be about everything. Okay.